You loved us, Mommy, when we were weak or strong. You loved us. When we were very right or terribly wrong, you loved us. When we laughed too loudly or sobbed too long, you loved us. When we insisted on our own way, you loved us. When we failed to put you first, you loved us. My mom loved us, even when she was struggling to overcome cancer. She went through 2 bone marrow transplants and the dreaded surgery to fight and live longer so she could help her children resolve their problems and also witness their successes. She fought even for her grandchildren so she could be there when Bea and Ye find partners worth their love, to brag when Inigo takes his graduate studies, to welcome Josh, to pray for Luke's safety, to attend David's graduation, to witness her other 10 grandchildren fulfill their dreams, and to watch Amaya grow up. Our mom was loving, attractive, intelligent, and strong. We were always proud to introduce her to our friends because they always had the same comment. Is that your mom? She looks like your sister, and she is beautiful. She was indeed beautiful. The combination was volatile because she was also a very smart lady. Because of her influence, we grew up reading avidly and playing Scrabble passionately. She had decided opinions and would welcome any debate, especially lately about President Obama. She was a fluent writer and could draft a speech in a few minutes. One time, she wrote the editor of a newspaper and attached the grammatical errors of a particular issue. My mom was the epitome of graceful courage. She braved this country and overcame obstacles to pave the way for us. So now we are all here. The hardest thing we have ever done was to tell my mom it was okay to go. Our mom had lived a full life. She had Chuck, who loved her deeply. She had given us the best possible education so we could thrive. She had made peace with my dad and his siblings. She spent precious time with Tita Nita and Tita Girlie. She was there for my birthday and Tita's birthday. And she waited for Bibo's birthday so B-Boy could hold her hand up to the very end. Heartrending as it was, we had to tell my mom that she should rest because we would be fine. We are surrounded by people who have been very supportive and helpful, people who have embraced us with their care. We would like to thank my mom's sisters, especially Tita Nita and Tita Girlie, for being there for my mom and us. We would like to thank friends and relatives, especially the Pebelitas, who reached out to us. We could never thank enough my dad's siblings and their spouses for the moral and financial help. Thank you, Ate, Boyman, Chito and Winnie, for the consoling words and prayers. Thank you, Fermin and Lynn, for the prayers and being here with us. Thank you, Muan and Wawa, for reaching out to my mom and for the unfaltering words of wisdom and generosity. And thank you, dear boy, for being the kindest person ever. We would always lament not having enough time with my mom. It would take time for us to realize that we could not pick up the phone to laugh, joke, and share stories with her. We feel profound sadness that you are not here with us on earth, Mommy. We could only console ourselves that your suffering is over. Mommy, we love you so much. Rest and be with your Maker. We will always remember. We will fill the void in our hearts with your memories. Your love remains with us because love endures and knows no space or time.
I wrote, recently I presented myself with a question. If we knew God's greater plan or the reason we were meant to endure such things, would it make it any easier? I spent countless nights pleading to God to change His plan for my mother. But I would never forget the moment my pleas changed from, please God, see my mother through this one more time, to, God, please take her and end this battle. Seeing her in pain was a heavy burden in my heart. I wanted to share her pain and to free her of her sufferings, but I guess God's plan had its own ways. I never had the chance to see my mom, never had the chance to show her how much it meant to me and how proud I was to be called her son. For that, I felt pain, knowing I could not see my dying mom because of a person behind a glass window who told me I couldn't go to her, but I endured it. I kept telling myself that maybe God had better plans. As I wrote this eulogy, I remembered the happy times with my mom. She cooked for me, and her fried chicken was always the best. I liked her concretas, partnered with pork nilaga, and of course, mawawala ba naman ng patis. Every Christmas, my mom asked us what food we would like to eat, and my mom always got angry with PA because he always requested her to cook rellenong manok, which for Diana was masyadong matrabaho. But as angry as she was, she could still cook that for us. I would never forget you, Mommy, because my life and what I am now is a reflection of you. And for you, Mom, I would live this life as best as I could so people would know that God gave me life, but it is you who showed me how to live it. I love you, Mommy. And PA wrote, everything has its reasons and it will be revealed to you in God's time. Those were my mom's words to me when I questioned God about the negative events in my life before. My mom was a pillar of strength for both Dino and myself. In her own way, she showed us what it meant to be a good Christian and a good person. Mama's boy daw kami. I guess that was a true statement. She was a loving mother who single-handedly raised us to be the best persons we are right now. For most of my life, we resided in one room. I would always cherish the moments when the three of us had short conversations before we slept. When the lights were out, my mom always initiated dialogues with us to share our day-to-day life. When my marriage broke down, I ran to my mom. Her consoling presence helped me overcome my depression. I knew that whatever happened or decision I made about my marriage, she would be there at my side all the way to support me. When she was first diagnosed with cancer last June and the doctor gave her life a timeline, she grinned and said she was determined to put up the best fight she could and that no one but God could determine the outcome of her life. For the next few months, she went through nearly devastating radiation and chemotherapy. She said that she was not afraid to die, but that she wanted as much time as possible to be with us and our family. When I visited her last September, I had the shock of my life. I was literally at a loss for words seeing her for the first time with that condition. I just wanted to break down and cry, but during those moments I forced myself to be strong for her. I wanted to encourage her to fight this illness and outlive her cancer somehow. In the coming months, it pained me to hear that her health condition was deteriorating. I wanted to be with her in those last moments, and if I could share her pain, I would do it in a heartbeat. I could never thank you enough, my family, my relatives and friends who have helped us all this time. Tito Mom, you've always been my role model. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you, Tito Chito and Ninong Boy, for being a second father to us. Thank you, Tita Ditas, Tito Al, Tito Daisy, and Tito Bing, who patiently stayed with my mom throughout her chemo sessions. To Tita Dulce, Tito B-Boy, Tita Divina, Tita Dorothy, and the whole Abuela clan, thank you for your advice, support, and prayers. Thank you to Tita Nita and Tita Girlie for your prayers. Thank you to my mom's employers at Gateway for your unfaltering support. To all of my mom's friends at Gateway, thank you for your care and friendship. Because of your warmth and sincere concern, I believe my mom chose to leave this world among friends. And to Mom and Diana, we love you every day. We will miss you so much, and till we meet again.